So I have practically done about 15 films so far, right? This film must have been a very different experience for you.
It was a difficult experience.
Difficult?
It was difficult because I took it up with a lot of confidence, but when you go on set and you shoot, it's not the easiest thing to feel like, okay, it's my first time not being the heroine of the movie. Yeah. It's not exactly easy. I am not the kind of person who feels a complex that easily. I'm like, haan, theek hai. But I appreciate beauty. I think, you know, whoever I work with, if there's an actress who's beautiful, I have no qualms saying, oh, she's stunning and I'm a fan. Or I remember when I watched TMI and Chesave, I was like, oh my god, this chick is something. Or, you know, when you see a Nithya Menon in Ala Modla Indi, you're jealous. You're like, why the hell did I get that character? But certain characters are not made for you. So I have no qualms admitting that, of course, I get jealous. Of course, I get, you know, a little anxious about why is this not happening with me. But then, I'm very content with my characters. You know, I remember when Googly happened, a lot of actresses came up to me and said, you're so lucky you got that. So I know I've had my share of luck. I still have my share of luck. I'm playing some characters that I'm really proud of. And this is one such character. And I think people who have appreciated me have actually come up to me and said, we respect your guts and it takes a lot.
Right.
I know it takes a lot. Not everyone could have done what I've done. So I'm very proud of that. If you're telling me that there are actresses from other languages who will come in and say we're leading actresses, then we're willing to play your sister here, I don't see too many of them. And I take pride in the fact that I've actually, you know, come out of my comfort zone and put myself out there, made myself feel insecure, but yet delivered, and I have been able to do or justify the character that I've played. For me, my biggest compliment was Sino Vaitla sir said, nobody else could have done this as beautifully as you. And I personally think that was my biggest compliment there. I remember the audio release, Kona Venkat Garu came up to me, shook my hands and said, thank you for choosing to do this film. It's come out really well. Upasana called me and said, you were fabulous in the movie. So those small things, they kind of make your day and you feel like, okay, your risk has paid off. At the end of the day, who's going to cast me? It's the industry. Right. So if they take notice, that's all that matters, A. B, if they don't take notice, at least I'm proud of the fact that I was gutsy enough to go out there and do it. Right. It's as simple as that.
So was every day a struggle for you? Like, did you have to convince
yourself? The first day was. Somewhere in between was. Most of the days weren't. The first day was definitely a struggle. We were shooting, which scene did we shoot first? It was when my brother gets me that laptop. We were shooting that scene. And
that was your first scene in the film?
That was my first scene that I shot in the movie. And that was hard. I mean, Charan and I burst out laughing when he called me Akka. He's like, she looks like a baby, how do I call her Akka? And they're like, sir, I know it's, even if she's one day older than you, it has to be Akka. And he laughed and I laughed. But they didn't really emphasize that in the movie, thank God. Because I guess they kind of figured that's not going to work.
What were the vibes like? Did it get very awkward in the beginning?
Not at all. Charan and I are friends. Like, now we're friends. Earlier we were, like, we both have hung out in the past with people. It has never been just one-on-one, and we've gotten along really well. So Charan, in fact, first day he came up to me and said, you're happy? I said, yeah. So he said, listen, if there's anything, if you're stressed, talk to me and I will take care of it. Because he knew where I was coming from. We didn't really have to talk about where I was coming from. It
was a difficult decision for you at the end of the day, right?
It wasn't difficult after I heard the script, honestly. I was very apprehensive. I didn't want to go listen to the script because I told my manager, I'm like, what's wrong with you? I'm not going to play someone's sister. And they're like, listen, it's a big film and they've said the movie is about the brother and sister. So I said, of course they're going to narrate it to me from my point of view. That's how it works. That's how the industry works. And but once I heard the script and I met Sino Vaitla, so I'm like, okay, I thought about it practically and I said, I don't know when I'll work with a Sino Vaitla again. I don't know whether I'll get an opportunity to work with a Ramcharan. Unfortunately, my films in the past haven't worked. And let's be realistic, and I have nothing to lose. And I love being a part of the Telugu industry. And I miss shooting here. I actually love shooting here. It's so much fun to shoot a Telugu movie. And I'm like, why not? It was difficult. The first day was hard. Very hard. I mean, I can't even explain it. It's a wonder I didn't cry. But it was good overall. I'm so glad today that I made that decision.
You speak about Srinu Vaitla in very high terms. You know? So what is it that you learned from him?
He's the reason I'm so confident about myself today. He always made sure that I had the respect of where he thought I was standing, and he treated me with utmost respect. You know, there were days when I'd be awkward and I'd just be sitting, and one of the cutest things that he's done comes up to me, and there was this awkward silence because I don't know why there was, okay. So we're sitting and he says, do you eat custard apple? And I thought in my head, he's actually trying to make conversation, that's so sweet. I said, yes sir, I like custard apple. You know how many calories they have? I was like, what? And he's like, no Kriti, they are the highest amount of calories in a fruit. 350 or something. I was like, really? I actually didn't know, and I was like, really? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, wow. And then we started talking normally. So that was his icebreaker. And it takes a lot. He didn't need to talk to me. He did. And there were scenes, it was so cute. One day he comes, there's this scene which Charan and I are shooting in my bedroom. And it came out very well, and he was very happy with it. And after the editing, he came up to me and he's like, I loved it. And next thing he says, a bedroom scene undi kada nee Ram Charan to. I'm like, sir, bedroom scene? And everyone laughed. It was so cute. They were like so innocent, you know, that's how you talk. And for me, I felt like I could connect with the man because of that. Suddenly my respect for him went up here. Because he made me feel comfortable. He didn't talk to me like, okay, you're just someone else. And not just me, anybody on set. Like it was Nadia Garu, Sampath Garu. He was very sweet, like the way he addressed, like Nadia Garu itla cheyandi. Like, I was like, oh my god, that is so sweet. And I actually speak of him in very high regard. It's because of him that I have this kind of confidence on myself today. Because when he shot my scenes, he shot with confidence and he said, you are the core of this film. So let's treat you like that, and if you have that faith in yourself, only then it's going to come out. And a lot of people actually told me, we wish there was a little more of you and Charan in the film, like that combination. I felt that connection when I watched the movie. It's very rare that you feel it. Unfortunately, because we ran out of time and we were literally racing against time to finish our movie, they had to cut down on my song with him. We were supposed to have a brother-sister song, but unfortunately that didn't happen. But when I watched the movie, I didn't miss it. I was like, okay, you know, they've shown me, my characters worked, and that relationship has worked, and that's what the movie is. And I'm just grateful that they didn't let me down, because I was scared about that. But even while I was shooting, I was happy. But what happens on the editing table, you can't tell, but I promise you, like, there's not one scene that they've cut out. They've actually kept everything, and that makes me so happy. I'm really grateful to my team that they didn't let me down. That too because my mom called and said, Beta, are you working out? I need to work out because I actually have an injury in my foot, so I need to work out and make sure that. So once in 10 days is when I go to the gym and I do whatever I need.